Okay, hello Aslam class again. This is your computing lesson. Um, Ironically, because you're going to probably be using some sort of hardware and software to access our lessons, computing obviously is very important. And for today's lesson, we are going to be I'm going to be recapping how we log on to Teams, and we're going to be looking at internet safety in computing for the moment. So as I'm doing this lesson, obviously I want you to think about what things we need to be wary of and things that we need to keep personal, keep safe, and what information that we don't give out to people online. Obviously we've got live lessons as well, and we're going to be using Teams to do our live lessons. So there are a couple of rules that we need to follow when we do our live lessons, because there's going to be about 23 of you all coming on at once. The first rule is your camera. When you log on, make sure your camera is switched off on Teams. I know it's all very exciting. There will be time for you to see everyone, obviously, but when I'm teaching on Teams, I prefer the camera to be off so you're not all being distracted and things like that by each other. It's a lot easier and the lessons will flow a lot better if your camera is off. You can turn your camera on before the lesson. If before it actually starts, there may be a 5-minute breathing window where you'll be able to chat and talk to amongst yourselves. But when I'm teaching, camera off. Also, the next thing is microphones. Microphones have to be off. You have to be on mute. Just like we are in class, you're not allowed to call out. When I'm teaching or when someone else is speaking, it's very rude to call out. And that's the same on Teams. You need to stay muted whilst someone is speaking, whether that's myself or another child speaking on the live lesson. So make sure that when you are in the live lessons, you keep the microphone off and you keep your camera off, unless, of course, I say otherwise. They're the two main rules, really, okay, that we need to follow when we're doing our live lessons. Now, back to our computing lesson. I'm going to share the screen with you, if I can remember how to do it. I should do it. Right. Share screen. Right, let's close this down. Okay, so on my screen, this is my resume share. So you should now be able to see what I see on my screen. Some of you may not have this app, but some of you will do. So there's two ways of logging on. The first way is by going onto Google Chrome. And if you type in the search bar, Teams login, and when you come up, the first one will be Microsoft Teams. You literally click on that, okay? And then it will come up here and you click on to sign in. You click on sign in, and then you type in your login details when it asks you to. Safety tip here, you never, ever tell anyone what your password is. Okay, if someone knows your password and knows your username, then they can access your profile and they can start writing messages or start pretending to be you if it's, and it's not you. So mine is taking a very long time to initialize. It will come up to a screen saying, do you want to use a web browser or do you want to download the app? Because I'm already logged in, mine's already come up, so you haven't seen me put my details in. So what I'm going to do very quickly is let's see here. Sorry, guys. So on my screen, you should be able to see a guide. So here you can see on the picture, there will be a sign up or sign in. You click on sign in and then you type in your username and your password. Your username is your first name dot your surname at langleyacademyprimary.org, and then your password is your password that you've been given. I know in Aslam class, your password is inside your reading record. So please access Teams that way. Once entered, it will ask you if you want to use the web version or to download the app. If you want to use the web page, click the web version, or if you want to download the app, you can do. It just makes it quicker when logging on. Once you're on, you'll get to the virtual classroom. Okay, so I'm going to come out of this one again and show you my one. So I've got the app here on my laptop. I double click on it, and because I'm already logged in, it just comes straight up. And we go into Teams. Okay, you won't have all the teams that I have, and this is our team here. Okay, and then when we want to do a meeting, I'll just click this meet button here at the top, and you should all get a phone call or a link to allow you to come into the meeting. Our lessons are going to be at 10 o'clock. Okay, on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week, our live lessons are at 10 o'clock. So please make sure that you are available between the hours of 10 and 11, so that we can have our live lessons. So just to go over that again with the guide of logging on. So you type in at the top Microsoft Teams, click on the link, and then it will take you to the page. You're going to sign in because you already have login details. And when you sign in, you click on you type in your username and then type in your password. Once entered, it will ask you would you like to use the web version or would you like to download the app? You can do either. Make sure you get your parents' permission though if you're going to download the app. Then you get to once you've logged on, you'll come to your Teams home page here. And like I say, when we have our meeting at 10 o'clock, it will call you and you just need to answer. And remember the rules when we have our live meetings, cameras need to be switched off and also microphones off unless I specifically ask you to turn them on. Now, with computing, with internet safety, I've already said about things that we need to, like username and passwords, you want to keep to yourself. You don't want to let anyone else know. I want you to think about other things that you would try to keep safe online. If you have a look at the video now, what can you actually tell about where I am at the moment about the video? So when you're looking at my video for computing, what information am I actually giving you? What can you actually see in this video? You can see I'm in my back garden. But do you know where my address is? Do you know where I am in the world? There's not much information that I'm giving off here, except that I live in a building which was made out of bricks. I'm in my back garden that has trees. So I'm not giving out much personal information about myself. And with computing and e-safety, that is exactly what you need to be thinking about. Are you giving out too much information? And if you are, you need to limit that. And that goes the same with gaming and things like that. Some of you play PlayStation games or Xbox games. Your username, is it a name that is unique and it's not going to give out your personal details? That's why when you play online games, a lot of people have very weird and creative names because they don't want people to know what their real names are. So bear that in mind, please, when you're online and you're doing things. And what I would like you to do as a task, basically, is for your computing lesson, I just want you to create a poster. And this poster, I just want you to create or jot down some ideas of how to stay safe online. How do you think you can stay safe online? And just to give you a couple of things, it is things like not sharing passwords. It is about not sharing about too much information if you're putting a video online about yourself. It's also about your name when you're playing computer games. Are you using your real name or are you going to make up a name? So it's about limiting the amount of information we give out to people. Because if you walk down the street and you bumped into a stranger and a stranger said to you, what's your name? Where do you live? You're not going to tell them, are you? Because they're a stranger. And when we're online, that still applies. If you're online and you're playing a game and someone says to you, oh, what's your name? Don't give it to them. If they say, oh, where do you live? You don't give it to them. And I think what happens is, well, people forget that there is a, that when you're online, you do need to be as vigilant as you would be in the real world. So make a poster about how you think you can stay safe online. It's all about what you kind of know. And then our next lesson, we're going to it in a little bit more detail. But yeah, write down things or do a poster or things that you think, what you know about staying safe online. And that is your computing lesson. I've gone through the Teams login for you, and you need to create a poster about how to stay safe online. And don't worry if you don't know everything, it's what you know at the moment. And I've given you a few ideas to help you as well. Good luck with that, and I'll see you in the next video.